It's 21 after the hour, and we are learning some new details about the Colorado shooting suspect and his chilling plot. We now know his gun range membership raised some red flags, and that police even discovered unusual Batman items inside his booby-trapped apartment. So what does all of this say about his possible motive? Former homicide detective Rod Wheeler joins us now live from D.C. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Patty.
So one of the most depressing things that you say, I know, is that it would have been almost impossible to detect this guy in advance.
Right. You know, these lone wolves, it's very, very difficult to detect who these people are because, you know, there's really no immediate red flags that stand out. They don't have a criminal history. There's nothing to really attribute to them. However, there may be some things that should raise a red flag. And I'll tell you, I applaud the gun range owner because he did kind of notice that the voicemail on this guy's phone when he called that guy's home, the voicemail sounded rather creepy, according to the gun range owner. And so as a result of that, he decided that he wasn't going to allow this guy to come to his particular gun range.
Right, and that was appropriate. You know, on the other hand, could he have gone further? Probably not. I mean, what are police going to do if you call them and say, "I've got a gut feeling about this guy. He seems creepy"? Not really enough to act on.
Well, you know what? Actually, we can somewhat act on that, and that's an excellent point, Patty Ann, because anytime you notice something a little out of the usual, a very bizarre situation, notify the police. Let us check that person out. If nothing else, Patty Ann, let us have a conversation with that guy. Now, there's one other red flag that I just heard about yesterday. You know, this guy received a lot of packages to his workplace, an unusual amount of packages and boxes, and supposedly this is the gear that he was wearing, the clothing he was wearing, and possibly ammunition. So even that itself should have been a red flag where somebody should have at least had a conversation with this guy, Patty.
All right, so let's go through some of your specific warning signs. One of them is making inappropriate references to guns or other weapons. Somebody who's a gun nut should raise a red flag, you say?
Absolutely. You know, somebody that always talks about weapons. And I'll tell you something else that's a real red flag is somebody that has a tattoo on their body of different types of weapons. I suspect that this guy in this shooting here, he probably had a tattoo of the Joker on his body. He probably had tattoos of weapons on his body. Those are red flags, Patty.
Also, a fascination with past incidents or perpetrators who have conducted violent acts.
Sure. Somebody that just seems to always be attracted to these kinds of cases. They always talk about these types of cases. Again, another red flag.
Yeah, and statements indicating desperation over family, financial, or other personal problems. Some of that going on with him.
That's right. That in addition to somebody that's, you know, using a whole bunch of different types of comments, making different comments about weapons, and then just overall strange behavior, bizarre behavior. And then a person who's somewhat of a loner. Engage that person in a discussion. They're saying that this guy Holmes was somewhat of a loner. He was very quiet. You have to engage that person into a discussion. Patty, it's very important that we see what's on these people's minds.
Yeah, all right, well, we certainly know that now. Rod Wheeler, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you, Patty.
And the time right now.